I just leveled up my Series S. Call of Duty is going on vacation. PC Game Pass is going Super Saiyan, and Elden Ring. That's it, Elden Ring. There's only a few more days to enter for your chance to win an Xbox Series X from me. Down in the description below, you'll find a link with those instructions. Let's discuss. So the hype continues to build for Elden Ring. Thousands of players around the world are super hyped for their chance to jump into From Software's latest title and journey the lands between. I'm on Pacific Standard Time, so I'm going to be taking my crack at this game at 9 p.m. tonight. PC players are going to be doing it way earlier, about 3 p.m., like literally in a couple of hours. And early reviews of this game are in, and I'm saying that they're early because the game, at the time of this video, has not released yet. And I can't remember the last time a game was this universally praised. All the big publications, IGN, Game Informer, Eurogamer, they gave this game a 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5, perfect scores across the board, and most impressively, it has a really high Metacritic score. It's sitting at around 97, I think, right now. I can only think of a couple games off the top of my head that top that. I think GTA 5 is at a 98, Ocarina of Time, I think, is at 99, so it's in rarefied, very good, high, elite company, I would say. A lot of people are comparing Elden Ring to Breath of the Wild and a lot of Legend of Zelda games, to which Miyazaki, the game's director, replied, "I don't feel worthy of those comparisons." He's very humbled by it. I, for one, am super excited that the gaming community is just united on their hype for this game. It's pretty exhausting, especially with these first-party releases, of people complaining about, oh, they're review bombing Horizon Forbidden West, oh, just like they did Halo Infinite, oh, just like they did Forza, oh, people are review bombing Sifu. I get a little bit tired of the console war stuff, so it's nice to see the gaming community collectively is just excited about this game. It's very wholesome. What people are probably going to most likely be excited for when it comes to Elden Ring is the open world aspect. If you're a fan of the Dark Souls series or any of the Souls games, you know that those games are more or less just a series of interconnected levels. USA Today's review particularly had a lot to say about the world of Elden Ring, how awesome the open world aspect was. They say what sets this apart from other From Software games isn't the world building, it's the world itself. Rather than a series of interconnected levels, Elden Ring tasks you with exploring a fully open world with dynamic weather and a day and night cycle. If you've played a AAA game in the past decade, you know the drill. But a From Software open world doesn't feel like any other you've explored. What I'm interested in is how are we going to see this balance play out of appealing to longtime Souls fans who love the hardcore, difficult nature of games like this, while also trying to welcome in new players and new audience. Polygon says, From Software has done more than just remix its earlier games and layer on open world influence with Elden Ring. The studio's conversation with the player goes in fascinating new directions, and there are great surprises here for longtime fans of Souls games. In that same review, they say that the challenges are monumentally difficult as well. However, the USA Today review said that it was the most accessible From Software game to date, and now I wonder how that's going to play out, right? How do you appeal to the hardcore fans and welcome in a new audience, like I was just saying? I know a lot of people were up in arms when Sifu came out. Everyone was saying how difficult it was, how hard it was to beat, and then they added in an easy mode, and all of a sudden you had people on Twitter going, oh, like my experience is ruined because this easy mode cheapens the experience of the game. Just get good, man. Most of the reviewers are saying there is a good balance. There are really challenging enemies, but there's a lot of way to tackle those enemies and the challenges that you face as you explore Elden Ring. But as we all know, when something is as hyped up as this game, some people are just going to be haters about it. They're going to find things to nitpick. One of the hot button issues right now is that the optimization for this game across the board, it's a little not so good, you know? So it was reported that even in performance mode on the Xbox Series X, the most powerful Xbox console, there were significant frame rate drops, stuttering. It was a variable kind of frame rate range of as low as like 40 to 55 even on the Xbox Series X. PS5 had a little bit of an edge in terms of the stability of the frames, but still, it's a mixed bag when it comes to performance. Over on Xbox side, they do have variable refresh rate support, so if you have a monitor that supports that, that is going to help out a lot with that screen tearing and those frame drops. And apparently the reviewer copy of the game did not have this day one patch that was supposed to fix all this stuff. Well, that patch is live now, patch 1.02, and apparently performance it's still a little bit shoddy. They've even gone so far over on PlayStation side to recommend that you play the PlayStation 4 version of the game. It'll stabilize the frame rate a little bit, but it'll drop the resolution. And my friend Jimmy says that over on the PC side, that it's a little bit of a nightmare from my understanding. Oh my gosh, speaking of, Jimmy is here.
I warped in. Yeah, so the long story short on the PC version of this game is that DirectX 12 is causing problems like stuttering every 250 milliseconds. It's super annoying. Hopefully they can get it figured out, but the easiest way to fix it, go to properties on Steam, set your launch options to -DX11. It'll force into DirectX 11, should fix most of the stuttering. But ironically, this game was just Steam Deck verified today. I don't know how well it's gonna run, but if you wanna see how it runs when I eventually get my hands on a deck, check out the channel Deck Ready. I'm out.
Nice.
I'm going back to my identical
He's
set.
out. Go back to your,
My
wherever
brick
you're
wall is
from.
better.
So a lot of these people, of course, are taking this opportunity to go, boo, Xbox sucks, PlayStation better. But the truth of the matter is that optimization for this game across the board is just not ideal. Xbox, we have a little bit of an edge because we do have variable refresh rate on our consoles versus the PlayStation 5, but not everyone has a monitor or a TV that supports that. So it's just not ideal all around. You know, it'd be pretty sweet if these developers actually finished the game before they release them. We talk a lot about how Halo Infinite's missing content. Dying Light 2 had a lot of performance issues as well. Elden Ring, it's looking like we're gonna have performance issues as well for the first couple weeks of the game. It'd be really awesome if we just had a game that launched and nothing was wrong with it and we were all just living happily ever after. So chances are, if you're around my age, you grew up watching Dragon Ball Z as your kind of gateway anime. I used to watch it all the time on Toonami when I was a kid, and I just remember thinking like, wow, this is unlike any other cartoon, Western cartoon that I'm used to. This is awesome. The action, the kind of mature content, people were getting these amazing fights. And of course you watch it back now and you're like, holy crap, this fight has lasted like 40 episodes. How long can they drag this out for? But either way, it's an iconic series, instantly recognizable, and has spawned, of course, many video games. Dragon Ball Z being all about the action, all about the powers, all about flying around to different planets and fighting in these crazy scenarios, it lends itself very naturally to the fighting game genre. Some of my favorites include Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, and Dragon Ball FighterZ. Dragon Ball FighterZ is what a lot of people consider to be the best Dragon Ball Z fighting game, at least in the past like 5, 6, maybe even 10 years. It made the jump finally to the competitive scene, which no other Dragon Ball fighter has done before. I think that speaks volumes about the gameplay of this. It's very smooth, it's easy to pick up, hard to master type of situation. The animations, if you are a fan of Dragon Ball Z, are very true to what you would see in the show. Beautiful, gorgeous, very smooth. I love it. Now, this game originally launched back in 2018, and it is currently on Xbox Game Pass right now. You can download it and play it as part of your subscription. But now it is coming to PC Game Pass as well. And if you're one of my PC brothers out there, I highly recommend that you download this, give it a try. Like I mentioned before, the gameplay is very solid, animations are gorgeous, and the lore is pretty deep too, if you are a big fan of Dragon Ball Z. And they got Android 21 in a lab coat, of course, and they pushed this so hard with the trailer for this game, Android 21, who eventually turns into like the female Majin Buu hybrid. I think we all know why they did that. Well, if you know, you know. So for the first time since 2005, we are not going to be getting a mainline entry in the Call of Duty series. Call of Duty over the years has become a franchise like FIFA, like Madden, like NBA 2K, where they release a game every year. Assassin's Creed is a little bit like that. They've slowed down a little bit with these last couple titles, but Call of Duty, it's like the changing of the seasons. It's just inevitable. It comes every year, whether you want it to or not. It was reported by Bloomberg that Call of Duty 2023, being developed by Treyarch, is going to be delayed 12 months, being pushed back into 2024. This Bloomberg report suggests that they're pushing it back in an attempt to stop these Call of Duty titles from cannibalizing each other. We saw this a little bit with Vanguard. People were still riding high on the Warzone train, and Vanguard kind of came in and people were like, I don't really know about this. It still sold a lot of copies, but by Call of Duty standards, standards, it was a little bit of a flop. Now, a lot of people on Twitter I see are already crediting Microsoft for doing this, causing this delay, but that is not the case, right? Microsoft, if, as a reminder, does not officially own Activision Blizzard as of yet. The deal has yet to be approved. And you know, I really don't think anyone has a problem with this delay, right? If you're a real hardcore Call of Duty fan, maybe it is a bit of a bummer that you are not getting your yearly dose of new Call of Duty content, but I feel like this is something that a lot of us can live with, right? A lot of the major media outlets are saying, oh my gosh, this is gonna have huge ramifications for Activision, it's gonna have huge ramifications for the video game industry, and I just don't know. I mean, financially, probably there's gonna be a little bit of a gap for Activision, for video game sales in general, because there is not this, you know, tentpole Call of Duty title coming out anymore. But I feel like we're a little bit burnt out on Call of Duty as a whole. Call me crazy, I don't know, but I feel like that's the general consensus in the gaming community right now. Now, even though there's no mainline title coming out next year for Call of Duty, they are going to put out a free-to-play game. I'm not sure what that's going to be, and Modern Warfare 2 is still on track to be released this fall. So Call of Duty is still going to be making money off of these upcoming sales, whatever their free-to-play option is going to be. I honestly don't know what that would look like. Is it going to be like a phone game or something? I'm not sure. And also, as we saw with Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, that game sold really well all the way through 2020 when it was released, and was still one of the top selling titles of 2021. At the end of the day, I think Activision's gonna be okay with this delay. I think us as gamers are gonna be okay. I think we'll live through it. Now, this little guy right here, the screen part, not the Xbox Series S, the screen part, I talked about in a previous video. It is called the XScreen. It's made by an Australian-based company called Upspec, and legend has it that when they started the Kickstarter for this, they reached their goal in like 10 minutes or something crazy like that. It was a very modest goal, it was low, but still very impressive. They just started shipping out their first units to the people who donated to that Kickstarter, and I got my hands on one to check out for myself. So this is an 11.6-inch IPS screen. It supports 1080p resolution and 60 Hz. And what initially stuck out to me when I first saw this is just how well the design of the screen goes with your Series S. It fits really seamlessly. All you do is you plug the screen into the HDMI and USB ports in the back of your console. It doesn't even need its own power source. All you gotta do is hook up the power cord into your Xbox like you normally would, and it powers the whole thing. They do have some extra bells and whistles to secure the screen to your console. As you can see right here, there's a little bit of a tether situation that you then screw in to the side. Overall, very smooth. Make it like a little laptop. Well, I'm gonna check it out right now, plug it in, see how this baby runs. So there are a couple of steps to this. Once you turn on your Xbox Series S, there is a separate power button for the screen along this dashboard right here. It also has controls for the volume and to adjust the brightness. So right now I have the volume for this at 10 out of 100, and I gotta say, the sound quality is pretty decent. The speakers are packed at the bottom of the monitor right here. Small, but mighty. Cool. Okay. I gotta say, pretty smooth with the resolution, pretty smooth with the frame rate. I'm impressed, I like it. I do gotta say it is a little bit weird, because, you know, this is essentially just an Xbox laptop, like just with separate steps. Like, it makes me hungry for an actual portable Xbox console, whether that be a dedicated laptop for Game Pass or like a Steam Deck, but it's all about Windows and Game Pass instead of the Steam OS. It's just making me mad. Get on that, Phil Spencer. So overall, pretty smooth. It's a lot more powerful than I thought it would be. When I first saw it, I was like, this thing is kind of small. The feel of it, I would say, is not as satisfying or as solid as I thought it would be. But in practice, I'm actually pretty impressed. And what I like the most about it is that all I need is one power cord for the whole thing. So this thing is $250, and yes, you could probably get a nicer portable monitor, maybe on Amazon or something, but that will come with some extra cords. Usually they're hooked up via USB-C. I think you'd have to do some shuffling around to power that as well as play it with your Xbox. I mean, it's a solid monitor, looks pretty good, feels pretty good. The experience overall, I'm satisfied with, but what you're really paying for, I feel like, is the extra, like how smoothly it fits into your Series S. This is a very specific Series S accessory. As far as the utility goes, I mean, obviously this would be cool to have. If you know, you're in a household with multiple consoles, but limited monitors, limited TVs, this would be great. You have multiple kids that want to play the same game at the same time, but you don't have the TV space. Also, if you're going over to like grandma's house or something, I know growing up, I couldn't bring any of my video game consoles to my grandma's house after like the Xbox 360 era because it was just not compatible with her old TVs. If you're an 8-year-old watching this, that would be great for you. It's also super portable as well. Any road trip, you can take it on the plane with you. It comes with this neat little storage case, and everything fits into this thing. All the cords, the Xbox Series S, the screen itself, it all fits in this little package right here. Overall, is it worth it? It depends. For me, I don't think I would find a whole lot of uses for this. Number one, I don't really travel that much, so I'm never thinking like, oh man, how am I gonna, you know, bring my Xbox with me on the go, because I just don't travel that much. But I will say I was very impressed with the functionality of this, the convenience of this, and the performance as well. Anyway guys, that's all the news I have for today. Thanks so much for tuning in. I would very much appreciate it if you went on over to Twitter and followed me at StayXboxReady. There's only a couple of days left to enter my giveaway. You have a link down in the description below with instructions on how you can win your very own Series X from me. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next video.